Police believe now that Dezi Freeman is not dead. They've had cadaver dogs out there looking for him. If his body was down a shaft, in a cave somewhere, they would have picked up his scent. They would have found him. Wayne Flower here, reporting again for the Daily Mail in Melbourne. I'm back here today for a long overdue update on the hunt for Dezi Freeman. It's hard to believe that this has been going on now since August 26. I mean, it seems like a long time ago. It feels like forever. And, you know, there have been updates here and there throughout this time, but as the months drag on, the weeks drag on, they're getting less and less. It's really hard to provide updates. Where is Dezi Freeman? Well, the Daily Mail published a story about what top police are thinking about what has happened to Dezi Freeman. It's really a bit of a no-brainer when you think about it, that police believe now, I'm told, that Dezi Freeman is not dead. They've had cadaver dogs out there looking for him. These dogs they're pretty good, you know. I am told that police believe that Freeman escaped. How did he escape? Look, I don't know. We don't know. Where is he? The understanding is that he has gone interstate. What state he has gone to, I don't know. The information that I was able to receive was limited. You can understand this is very sensitive stuff, and police rightfully don't want to be talking out of school about this operation. You're talking about two of their own have been allegedly murdered by Freeman, you know, and we can't forget about those funerals, the trauma for the families and for the police force itself in having to go to work day after day with Freeman not being found. But it's the question that everyone wants answered. Where is Freeman? Is he dead? What are police thinking? I mean, the commissioner came out the other day. He couldn't really give a lot of answers. Understandably, what he is saying is, we are continuing to search for him. We will never give up searching for him. So whereas police might believe, whether they've got intelligence or not, that he has fled interstate, look, possibly. We know that in the days and weeks after this incident, police, while they maintained their presence in the wilderness there around Mount Buffalo, they very quickly started looking at others in the community. They came out and said that we believe Freeman may have had some help. And they did some raids on people who just said, look, we don't know him, or we barely knew him. It's a small town out there in Porepunkah. You're talking about in the high country, very close community. So everyone really knew him, but how well did they know him? I don't know, but police, they weren't taking any chances. They were jumping on anybody who may have known him. So the thought is now really that Freeman has escaped that wilderness. We all know it is some bad bush. It's been compared to, you know, the 1982 movie First Blood, John Rambo getting through the mountains near Hope and, you know, re-emerging with an M60 and going nuts. Look, we don't think Freeman's going to turn up anywhere near that area. You know, as I said, police believe he is long gone from that area. As it stands, parts of that national park around Mount Buffalo still remain closed. About a week or so, large sections of that reserve were opened up again to the community. So you can read into that a little bit. Why are still certain sections of that park closed? Well, you know, you want to be a bit cautious about going and just throwing it all open and, you know, Dezi Freeman jumps out of the woods. So police are, you know, they're playing a long game here. They're playing a smart game. you've got to be careful. You've got to keep everybody safe. But I think we'll find over the coming, days and weeks probably, that the rest of that park around Mount Buffalo will be opened back up to the public. I mean, it was devastating closing that park for the community there, and they rely on the tourism, and the end of the ski season there was pretty much ruined by this incident. I mean, it's small beans when you think about the loss of life that has occurred here. Is Dezi Freeman sitting somewhere watching this video, having a good laugh about how he got away? The suggestion is that police believe that's exactly what he has done. And if that is the case, Freeman needs to understand too that there is a $1 million reward out there. And the $1 million reward is unusual in itself, in that it isn't for a conviction. These rewards, they can be a bit dicey. There's a lot goes into awarding that reward to someone. You need to get them convicted normally, and you got to go through the hoops to say, was it your information that led to this? Victoria Police have gone out here and said, no, forget about the conviction. We just want him. We want him arrested. So if anyone has any information that leads to his arrest, big chance you're going to be $1 million richer. So Freeman would want to have some pretty good mates who have helped him, because it's a pretty good incentive to turn him over. But, these guys, or guys, girls, this lot, they're pretty focused. They stick together, and some people have seen what Freeman has done. He's a bit of a hero. Of course, he is not. It is disgraceful, the allegations about him, and we just hope that that he will eventually be brought to justice. So again, let's just wind back and have a quick look about where everything is at now. We know that there is still a police presence up there in the high country around that Porepunkah area. Really now, you'd think that presence is more just for show, just to let the community know that you're safe. But the large-scale operations that we've seen up there, they've pretty much wound down now. So where does it go from here? You got the federal police on board now. You've got interstate police have been on board from the get-go. So they're going to be looking at everything, any sort of suspects, anyone who's slightly suspicious, put eyes on them, get ears on them. You're going through thousands of tips now. Just the tips keep rolling in, and it's a lot of work to go through all of those tips and check everyone out. And they will be checking everyone out, because this matter cannot go unresolved. I've said this from the start. We need Freeman. The police need Freeman. They need him dead or alive. He can't become this folklore. He can't become an Australian legend who disappeared into the woods, never to be seen again. And you're gonna have sightings of him in years to come if he's not captured. Going, I saw Freeman out here. He's relaxing on the beach in Broome. Or I saw him up here in Darwin. I saw him in Bali. He's having a good time. The police can't have that, and the families and those that knew and loved those police officers, they need justice. They need closure. Victoria Police are desperate to have a resolution to this matter. So again, it's not massively breaking news that police believe he got away. I mean, people will be thinking, of course he's got away. They would have found him by now. Where has he gone? We wait and see. And the Daily Mail will be there waiting, watching, and trying to bring to you the latest news whenever we get it.